the realm of Nidavellir, where the air was thick with the scent of iron and fire, lived a dwarf named Fafnir. He was not just any dwarf. He was a master craftsman, celebrated for his intricate metalwork that gleamed under the soft glow of torchlight. His hands were skilled, but his heart held ambitions far darker than the deepest mines. Fateful day, while exploring the hidden depths beneath his home, Fafnir encountered an ancient lake. There, in its shimmering waters, lay a guardian fish, an entity bestowed with secrets older than time itself. Driven by an insatiable hunger for wealth and power, Fafnir slew this guardian and claimed what remained, Andvari's cursed treasure. He laid eyes upon the gold and jewels glimmering like stars captured within stone. A sinister hunger took root in his soul. A once noble dwarf began to feel his priorities shift. Relationships faded into shadows as greed consumed him wholly. Laughter shared with friends turned into whispers of envy. Love transformed into an unquenchable thirst for more riches. Midst this transformation stood Regin, Fafnir's brother, a cunning dwarf with a mind sharp as any blade. The brothers had once shared dreams of greatness together. However, now only resentment brewed between them. His voice trembled with anger as he confronted Fafnir about their inheritance from Andvari's hoard. Fafnir dismissed these pleas for unity with a wave of his hand. To him, gold had become more precious than blood. Regin's heart filled with betrayal over this rift caused by greed. He could not help but plot against his own brother. The bonds forged in childhood were fraying like ancient ropes frayed by time. And so it was that darkness enveloped Fafnir completely. With each piece added to his hoard came whispers of curses entwined within the gold. Each coin weighed heavy on his spirit, until finally he succumbed to transformation. Great dragon emerged from what remained of the dwarf, who had once crafted beauty amidst iron and flame. His scales shone like polished obsidian under moonlight, as he coiled around mounds of treasure high atop jagged cliffs, overlooking endless valleys below. Echoes of despair reverberated through Nidavellir. Sorrow flooded hearts, even as they dared not speak aloud about their fallen kin. From atop those cliffs where shadows danced among glimmers of wealth untold, Regin watched broodingly, his desire for vengeance taking shape alongside haunting memories of love, lost to greed's relentless grip. Unbeknownst to both brothers, was fate's design a hero awaited beyond their tangled web, woven from jealousy and ambition. It would soon emerge from humble beginnings, armed not merely with strength, but also courage fueled by honor long forgotten in their cursed saga. Thus commenced a tragic tale where greed led one astray, while binding another in chains heavier than any gilded treasure could ever weigh down upon one's soul. In the heart of Nidavellir, dark stones whispered tales of ancient glory. Fafnir felt a stirring deep within. Gleaming gold of Andvari's treasure had begun to seep into his very essence, twisting him in ways he could not comprehend. The days turned into nights and back again. He could feel himself changing not just in form but in spirit. His hands, once skilled at forging intricate designs from metal and gem, were now clawed and monstrous. His body swelled with scales that shimmered like polished steel under the dim light of the cavern. Each scale bore witness to his insatiable greed, a testament to the depths he had sunk. The friendship with Regin faded like echoes in a vast chamber as isolation wrapped itself around him like a heavy shroud. Watched from afar, torn between sorrow and fury, he remembered their childhood spent crafting wonders together, sharing laughter that rang like music through the halls of their ancestors. How those memories felt tainted, betrayed by his brother's hunger for wealth rather than kinship. His heart burned with a desire for vengeance, a need to reclaim what was rightfully theirs, before Fafnir was lost completely to his monstrous form. And as Sigrun's gentle voice whispered through the shadows of this tale, she reminded her listeners how greed corrupts even those who start out noble-hearted. Away at love and loyalty, until nothing remains but an echoing void filled with despair. Fafnir became aware that his solitude was both a blessing and a curse a twisted sanctuary built upon mountains of glinting gold, yet devoid of any warmth or companionship. Moments when night cloaked the land in darkness, he found himself haunted by visions of laughter past shadows flitting across his cave walls as if they were mocking him. Plotted beneath layers of stone, while pretending to aid Fafnir's new existence among treasures unclaimed by time or worthiness. Each heartbeat echoed betrayal within him, the desire to restore their bond ward against thoughts of ending it all through fire and fury. Sigurd came into focus on Regin's horizon, a young hero unaware of his destined path. The stage was set for confrontation, beyond mere flesh and blood. It represented hope, but also served as a pawn in Regin's game, drawn towards danger, yet blissfully ignorant about its true nature. Observed how fate danced intricately around these souls intertwined, by choices made long before they were, but threads woven into an elaborate tapestry reflecting ambition gone awry. Passing moments spent hoarding untold riches while forsaking family ties, Fafnir felt further removed from what remained human inside him, yet still clung desperately onto shards of memory that flickered faintly, reminders, perhaps, that redemption lay somewhere beyond those gilded caves shrouded in shadows. But would it be enough? Would there come a day when he faced the consequence not just for greed, but also for breaking bonds meant to last through eternity? As moonlight filtered gently into Fafnir's lair, illuminating pools of treasure laid, ere over time threatening stillness enveloped them both. And turned dragon, brother consumed by anger, hero stepping forth towards destiny, unknowing yet determined, encouraged her listeners to ponder this duality within themselves, before surrendering to sleep, a reminder that every choice carries weight greater than imagined, even amidst dreams spun from fire and gold, where virtue may meet its shadowy end. The sun dipped beneath the horizon, casting a warm glow over the landscape. A young boy named Sigurd wandered through the forest. He was raised among the humble villages of Midgard, nurtured by tales of valor and honor. Though his heart yearned for adventure, he remained unaware of the destiny that awaited him, one that would bind his fate to Fafnir and Regin in ways he could not yet fathom. Had taken Sigurd under his wing after tragedy struck early in the boy's life. He lost both parents to cruel misfortune. A cunning dwarf recognized potential within Sigurd, a glimmer of bravery that reminded him of himself before greed twisted his own heart. Yet behind Regin's mentorship lay shadows of ulterior motives, as he plotted revenge against Fafnir while cultivating this young warrior. Days turned into weeks, as Sigurd trained tirelessly under Regin's watchful eye. With each swing of his sword, he honed not only his skills but also his resolve. A clang of metal echoed amidst ancient trees, where sunlight filtered through leaves like whispered promises of glory. However, whispers floated on the wind. Rumors about Fafnir's malevolence and treasures tainted by curses reached Sigurd's ears. A Regin inspired strength within him. Seeds of doubt began to sprout in Sigurd's mind regarding his mentor's intentions. Was it truly honor driving Regin forward, or was it revenge for a brother who had forsaken kinship for gold? These thoughts lingered like shadows at twilight, provoking uncertainty and concern deep within him. As stars blinked awake in the vast sky above them, Sigurd found himself staring into an unlit fire pit during their usual training session. A flickering embers mirrored the conflict brewing within him. They danced restlessly, yet beautifully, much like his own thoughts. Noticed this change the way Sigurd's brow furrowed with contemplation, and seized an opportunity to inspire confidence within him once more. He spoke passionately about heroism and duty, the noble responsibilities resting upon those who wield power. But beneath these words lurked another layer, tales spun from anger and longing for reclamation instead of brotherhood. Boy listened intently. Admiration colored his cheeks as visions of grandeur filled his mind, a hero destined to confront darkness incarnate. Yet with every word spoken by Regin grew an unsettling feeling gnawing at his conscience. There was something hidden beneath layers of affection, cloaked in ambition. Days passed into nights illuminated by silver moonlight, reflecting off distant waters flowing swiftly beneath bridges crafted long ago. It felt drawn toward destiny calling forth from beyond trembling leaves, whispering secrets, long buried in time, the call towards Fafnir's lair, where danger lay coiled with treasures bound by curses unimaginable. And so it was that one fateful dawn broke across fields painted gold anew a day, when courage would propel him forth into perilous unknowns, unfolding ahead. Anticipation surged through veins coursing with blood untainted by greed or vengeance, alike the weight upon shoulder felt lighter still despite lingering doubts, echoing softly like fading echoes trailing behind journeys begun anew. As dawn broke over the realm of Nidavellir, sense of foreboding lay thick in the air. The young hero stood at the edge of a darkened forest, his heart pounding like thunder as he prepared to confront Fafnir. The path before him twisted and turned, leading deeper into shadows that beckoned, with whispers of danger and trepidation. Each step he took was weighed down by stories, shared among woodland creatures, tales of brave souls who had ventured forth to slay the dragon, only to find themselves consumed by flames or trapped within its greedy grasp. Determination burned fiercely within Sigurd. He had come too far to turn back now. Armed with Regin's teachings and a sword glinting in the dappled light, he pressed onward. Landscape morphed around him as he ventured closer to Fafnir's lair, lush greenery giving way to barren rocks and desolation. The very ground seemed alive with an ominous energy that crackled beneath his feet. He drew nearer. An unsettling silence enveloped him. Nature itself appeared to hold its breath in anticipation. Paused at the entrance of a cavern, darkness loomed ahead like a hungry beast awaiting its prey. In that moment, doubts crept into his mind. Would valor be enough against such overwhelming power? The tales told by creatures were not mere fables. They bore witness to many who had failed this very test. Just as uncertainty threatened to seize him entirely, Sigrun's whisper echoed softly through his thoughts, a gentle reminder of courage woven from Odin's wisdom. He spoke not just about strength, but also about purpose. Bravery is found within one's heart when faced with insurmountable odds. Taking a deep breath filled with resolve, Sigurd stepped into the cavern where shadows danced along walls shimmering with gold dust, the remnants of treasures hoarded long ago by Fafnir himself. His eyes adjusted to the dim light filtering through cracks above. He could see mounds upon mounds piled high with glimmering coins and jewels that sparkled even in darkness. And amongst this wealth lay something far more menacing. Fafnir's form coiled protectively around it, all a dragon, whose scales reflected both beauty and terror, alike under flickers of light caught between rock crevices. Majestic yet horrifying, every inch radiated raw power born from insatiable greed. With each beat of Sigurd's heart echoing louder than before, tension grew palpable in the air, a charged current vibrating through them, both as if aware fate had drawn them together on this fateful day. He felt fear bubbling up, but quickly smothered it with thoughts of honor and duty. For too long had evil reigned unchallenged over lives lost amidst avarice's grasp. That breathless moment, before confrontation began, where destiny hung suspended like a fragile thread, Sigurd made eye contact with Fafnir. Within those fierce eyes shimmered centuries' worth of pain, transformed into rage fueled by an insidious curse bestowed upon him long ago by Andvari himself. Fafnir hissed lowly, a sound reverberating like distant thunder, rumbling across mountains, as he unfurled from his serpentine coil, revealing sheer size unmatched in any tale Sigurd had heard thus far. Towers above what once held semblance of kinship within stone walls, now turned fortress, guarded fiercely against intruders seeking their own demise. Clarity cutting through fear like steel against flesh. Raised his sword high, its blade gleaming bright with promise, and charged towards destiny entwined within these cursed grounds forged by greed itself. Sigrun's voice guided him still. Remember your purpose, dear hero. You fight not just for glory, but for freedom from shackles binding hearts away from love. So began their duel beneath shadows cast long over ancient stones, one driven by vengeance, tinged deeply red, while another sought redemption, striding boldly forth, despite whispers echoing warnings behind each hurried footfall. Resonating against rock walls carved eons ago, in the heart of a shadowy forest, ancient trees stood like sentinels cloaked in mystery. Erd approached Fafnir's lair. Air was thick with tension, and an eerie silence enveloped him, broken only by the distant rustle of leaves whispering secrets of ages past. Each step he took felt heavy with purpose, a weight that pressed upon his chest, as if the very ground beneath him sensed his resolve. He neared the jagged cliffs, overlooking the dragon's den. Vivid images danced through his mind. Tales of past heroes who had ventured forth to slay beasts far mightier than themselves echoed ominously within him. With every heartbeat, doubt crept closer. What if he too would become just another lost soul swallowed by shadows? Yet there was no turning back. Destiny had woven its intricate web around him long before this moment arrived. He recalled Regin's teachings, the lessons steeped in honor yet tinged with unspoken ambition, and they fueled a fire within him that defied fear. Merging into the open clearing, Sigurd beheld Fafnir's lair shrouded in an ominous gloom cast by darkened clouds swirling above. Glinting hordes sprawled across the cave floor seemed to beckon him forward, each coin gleaming like an eye watching his every movement. Whispered promises of glory and riches beyond imagination, while simultaneously warning him of greed's cruel embrace. And he heard it, a low growl resonating from deep within the cavern, a sound unlike any beast he'd encountered before. Rumbled through stone walls and reverberated within Sigurd's bones, striking chords of trepidation and awe alike. There lay Fafnir, the once noble dwarf transformed into a creature forged from envy and bitterness, coiled protectively around his treasure, as if fearing its loss more than anything else. With a deep breath, Sigurd steadied himself and drew his sword from its scabbard. The blade shimmered under fleeting rays of light, filtering through cracks in the rocky ceiling above, an extension of his will, crafted for this very encounter. That instant, Sigrun's voice drifted softly like petals on a breeze, whispers filled with encouragement weaving around Sigurd's heart. Remember your courage. It is your greatest weapon. Her words wrapped around him, as if infused with warmth from Asgard itself. They ignited determination anew. Fafnir stirred awake from uneasy slumber. Gales shimmering ominously against the backdrop of darkness revealed a creature far removed from humanity, being consumed entirely by avarice, yet still possessing remnants of what once made him kin to Regin. Lunged forward, fueled not just by ambition, but also empathy for what had once been a brother lost to greed's relentless grip. Their clash erupted in violence. Flames surged forth as Fafnir unleashed fiery breath that painted smoke across stark rocks, while Sigurd dodged nimbly, beneath billowing embers intent on consuming all in their path. Battle raged beneath shadows, where echoes mingled with roars, a cacophony reflecting struggles universal throughout existence itself. Strength pitted against cunning, valor contending fiercely against despair born from isolation. Every strike resonated deeper than mere physical combat. It became symbolic warfare between ideals long forgotten, amidst treasures tainted by curses entwined within gold coveted too fiercely. Hopes clashed violently against Fafnir's fears. Dreams spun alongside nightmares, until boundaries blurred between heroism and tragedy alike. With each swing of steel meeting scale came newfound clarity washing over Sigurd. He understood now that vengeance could never fill voids left behind when bonds frayed at edges worn thin by envy or greed. Triumph belonged not solely to those who emerged alive after facing dragons, but rather those willing to confront their deepest truths amidst fires lit bright by choice. Just then came Sigrun's gentle, urging echoing softly mid chaotic strife. Balance amid chaos, and within those words came revelation. Sigurd harnessed cunning learned at Regin's side while maintaining compassion towards Fafnir's plight, driven more by sorrow than malice alone. At last, with one final thrust, imbued with all hope burning brightly inside him, Sigurd pierced through scales burdened heavy by countless desires unmet. Flame flickered out abruptly, accompanied only by silence which fell like dusk settling upon weary souls drawn. Together throughout turmoil endured for ages long since past. As victory washed over him, however, bittersweet Sigurd stood gazing down at what remained, the body still draped across glimmering heaps representing both triumph achieved at great cost alongside haunting echoes borne out forevermore. When ambitions collided head-on against fragile humanity, masked beneath layers wrought forth through time, he could feel warmth wash over him even amidst lingering shadows, for there was no true victory without understanding the complexities lying hidden beneath circumstances, shaped largely beyond individual control alone. And so it was the battle, one yet laced intricately along paths leading toward redemption, wrought heavily amid choices made forever intertwined. As Sigrun whispered softly about balance awaiting discovery throughout life experiences, shared beyond simply vanquishing foes, but learning invaluable lessons etched deep into hearts. Touched evermore, in the aftermath of battle, illness enveloped the cavern where Fafnir once ruled. The dragon's body lay lifeless amidst a treasure hoard that glimmered with an eerie beauty. Gold and jewels sparkled like stars fallen from the heavens. It stood over his vanquished foe, breathless and trembling as waves of triumph intermingled with profound sorrow crashed over him. Victory had come at a steep price. He looked down upon Fafnir's colossal form. Memories surged within him, stories told by Regin about the noble dwarf who had succumbed to greed's dark embrace. His heart weighed heavy with the knowledge that beneath the scales and fire, there had existed a brother bound in shadows, lost to ambition and betrayal. His voice echoed gently in his mind, a whisper threading through the remnants of battle. He spoke not merely of glory, but offered deeper wisdom. Every victory bears its burdens. Cherish not only what you gain, but also what you lose. It's wrapped around Sigurd like a comforting shawl as he processed the truth laid bare before him. He stepped back from Fafnir's massive form. Sigurd felt an unfamiliar emptiness creeping into his chest, a hollow echo resonating where pride should have flourished. He was a hero, yet something within him trembled at this newfound title. Mean to conquer if it cost him compassion? Was it truly worth it to slay one whose soul had been twisted long before they crossed blades? With each step away from Fafnir's lair, thoughts raced through Sigurd's mind like torrents of water cascading over rocks. His past training flooded back alongside images of laughter, shared between brothers now, forever severed by greed's curse. Awaited on the outskirts of darkness, how would he respond to this unfolding tale? Would vengeance now be replaced by remorse or triumph, tainted with shades darker than any night? As twilight began casting elongated shadows across, a land outside emerged from the cave, adorned in bittersweet victory, a hero forged in flames yet haunted by echoes of pain, etched into every moment spent battling against darkness incarnate. He clutched tightly onto Andvari's cursed treasure, the very embodiment of despair that had ensnared both brothers within its grasp. Met him just beyond the threshold, leading back toward familiar paths, winding through ancient woods, dotted with flowers blooming defiantly against fading light. A cunning dwarf approached slowly. Anticipation flickered behind calculating eyes, searching for signs indicating success or failure. At when their gazes locked together, Sigurd bearing witness to loss, while Regin masked treachery behind calculated glee. He understood instantly how twisted fate could weave its tapestry among kin-turned adversaries driven apart by avarice. Who deep-rooted for redemption alone? Did you succeed? Regin asked, though urgency laced his tone, betraying excitement rather than concern for brotherhood lost. Sigurd hesitated beneath this scrutiny. Words lingered unspoken on his lips, until finally he exhaled softly. Fafnir is no more. But at what cost? Regin's face hardened momentarily, before shifting into an expression difficult to decipher. Was it anger? Perhaps jealousy tinged with fear? But quickly enough desperation took hold. Promises whispered earlier danced ominously between them, both as uncertainty loomed large in air, thickened by shadows cast upon their fates intertwined forevermore. Treasure glittering behind them beckoned alluringly despite its dark origins. Riches tainted still carried weight unmatched even amid loss, felt heavily within each heartbeat, echoing louder than ever before, while secrets remained buried. 'Neath layers unseen, yet deeply rooted inside hearts fraught with ambition gone awry. \n. And so Sigrun echoed again through these depths carved long ago. Beware, dear listener, or treasures coveted fiercely may lead only towards ruin. Day surrendered reluctantly into night, blanketing Midgard beneath starlit skies adorned beautifully above them. All the stage lay set anew, not just for heroes destined towards greatness, but also those burdened under chains forged. Heavier still entwined amongst whispers, calling forth desires left unchecked amidst dreams woven intricately from threads spun outwards towards infinity, beyond sight itself.